We worry about visible dangers to our children, but one of the greatest threats is invisible, the air they breathe. Every day, children inhale microscopic particles that can reach their brains, silently affecting development. This isn't a distant problem. It's everywhere, from cities to rural areas. Children are especially vulnerable. Their bodies are still developing, and they breathe faster than adults. Science now shows that air quality can shape a child's neurological future. We must recognize that the air around us is a critical factor in child development. The health of the next generation is at stake, and the danger is real, even if we can't see it. Our journey begins by acknowledging the threat hiding in every breath our children take. A major global study has revealed a strong link between air pollution exposure during pregnancy and early childhood and a higher risk of autism. The main culprit, fine particulate matter, or PM 2.5, from traffic, industry, and fossil fuels. Mothers exposed to higher PM 2.5 during pregnancy are more likely to have a child diagnosed with autism. This finding is consistent worldwide, making it a global concern. The study shifts the autism conversation from genetics alone to include environmental and public health factors. Our choices, how we power our cities and regulate pollution, directly impact children's neurological health. PM 2.5 particles are so tiny that they bypass the body's defenses, entering the lungs, bloodstream, and even the brain. A child's developing brain is especially sensitive, forming millions of neural connections every second. When these particles reach the brain, they disrupt growth, trigger inflammation, and interfere with vital connections. The blood-brain barrier in infants is not fully formed, making it easier for pollutants to enter. Chronic exposure can alter brain architecture, leading to issues like autism and other cognitive challenges. The damage is silent, but can last a lifetime. The invisible invasion of pollution leaves a permanent mark on a child's future. Autism rates are higher in cities, and it's not just because of better diagnosis. Urban areas have more pollution from traffic and industry, exposing pregnant mothers and young children to higher PM 2.5 levels. Pollution hotspots overlap with major cities, making environmental exposure a likely factor in the urban-rural autism divide. Living near busy roads or industrial zones increases risk during critical brain development windows. Cleaning up city air could protect children's neurological health and reduce autism rates. The solution is clear: healthier, cleaner cities benefit everyone. Air pollution harms developing brains through three main pathways: inflammation, oxidative stress, and direct placental transfer. PM 2.5 triggers chronic inflammation, which can cross into the brain and disrupt development. Pollution also causes oxidative stress, damaging cells and DNA, especially in the brain. During pregnancy, PM 2.5 can cross the placenta, directly exposing the fetus to toxins. Black carbon particles have even been found in placental tissue, proving pollutants reach unborn babies. These mechanisms often work together, compounding the damage. The result? A cascade of harmful effects that can alter brain development. The body's defenses are breached, leaving the developing brain exposed. This explains how air pollution can lead to complex neurodevelopmental disorders. Air pollution's impact goes far beyond autism. It's linked to ADHD, lower IQ, learning delays, and mental health issues like anxiety and depression. Polluted air also triggers asthma, leading to more attacks and hospital visits for millions of children. Chronic inflammation from pollution affects mood and cognitive function. The threat is systemic, affecting every part of a child's development. Fighting for clean air is fighting for children's overall health and potential. The stakes are nothing less than their ability to learn, thrive, and grow. Air pollution is a universal threat, but it hits the poorest and most marginalized communities hardest. Families in polluted neighborhoods often lack the means to move or protect themselves. Over 90% of the world's children breathe unsafe air, with the worst pollution in low and middle-income countries. Even in wealthy nations, minority and low-income communities face higher pollution levels. This deepens health disparities and limits opportunities for millions of children. Clean air must be a right, not a privilege. Addressing this injustice requires systemic change, not just individual action. Protecting children's brains is a matter of justice and equality. The threat is daunting, but we are not powerless. Parents can reduce exposure by using air purifiers, ventilating homes, and avoiding outdoor activity during peak pollution. But real change requires collective action and bold policies. Governments must enforce stricter emissions standards, invest in clean energy, and redesign cities for people, not cars. Success stories like London's ultra-low emission zone show that targeted policies work. Cleaner air leads to healthier children. Science proves it. The air our children breathe shapes their brains and their futures. The invisible threat is real, but so is our power to fight it. Every child deserves the right to breathe clean air. Their future depends on what we do next.